Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 3. And today I'm going to be giving you part 3 of What If Naruto got the Karma Seal from a rogue Otsutsuki. Remember to get this one to 100 likes as usual. Share this to all of your friends on your social media platform. And also guys, don't forget to go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto Was a Genius with a Stealing Bloodline ability over on Anime King 2 and enjoy that guys. And remember for new, yes I indeed have 4 channels which I post What If on every single day for you guys to enjoy. Anime King 2, Anime King 3, and Anime Prince. So go ahead and smash that red subscribe button. All links will be down in the description for the other channels. And don't forget to turn on the bell notification and see exactly when I post because I do post a lot. So without further ado or wasting any more time, what do you say we jump right into this? Begin now guys. So the last time we left off, a couple years has passed, 4 to be exact since Naruto's disappearance and his so-called death. While many believed that he was dead, there was a few that did not believe that he had perished. One of them mainly being Natsume Namikaze, as we could find her training in the field. At the back of her yard, she was panting after a heavy exertion of her physical abilities. It's been 4 years. The first year was hard. Her father even temporarily stepped down from being Hokage and handed the reins over to his shinobi commander, which was Shikaku of the Nara clan. Her father had spent a lot of time with the family, as they had tried to get over this tragedy, all of them coming together. With her father spending a lot of time with the family and including her mother, it seems that their love had held strong throughout all of that, because the next year she found out her mother was pregnant. At first she was angry, thinking that they were trying to replace Naruto. However, they promised that they would never ever do such a thing. Naruto will always be in their memories no matter what. Thus, they kept his room as it was. Kushina went in there often to change the sheets and make sure that the place was refreshed, and well, it was like he was still here. Several of them went in there time to time and just talked to themselves when they find something stressful that was bothering them, even Minato. It was just a calming environment. As for her younger brother now, his name was Menma, and he was 2 years old. We had then skipped to Kushina, who was feeding Menma. Naruto would never leave her mind. He would never leave her heart. The son that she wished Menma could meet as well, and she wished Naruto could have met Menma. However, after what she saw that night, she knew it was too late. A part of her had greatly blamed herself for not seeing the signs of Naruto being unhappy, that his illness was causing them great pain and anguish. However, she did not see it. She did not. And she lost her son, something that she hated terribly. When she found out that she was pregnant with a boy, she was worried. Yes, she was immensely worried, fearing the prospect of something like that happening again. However, Menma was a healthy, wonderful boy. The only side effect was she wished he could have met his older brother. But as the years passed, things were getting better, even though they will always have Naruto in their heart. As for Mito, she was training with Yujiro Otsutsuki. Yujiro Otsutsuki was a former student of Kushina Uzumaki, a Kinjutsu specialist. Mito had taken up Kinjutsu unlike her sister, as she was more focused on that art, so who better to teach her than her mother, and also the one that her mother taught everything that she knew, who even created her own fighting style with it, the Crescent Moon style. It was amazing. As for their father, he also went through a lot in the past 4 years. But as the years passed by, he was trying to console his family, and keep them happy. However, tragedy had struck when Itachi had slaughtered the clan because of the rise in tension. But Minato had no idea that it had went that far. He did not know that it had went that far. And he failed to do anything to stop it. Another failure on his part. So many people gone. Just like how he lost his son. Something that he actually blamed himself for not seeing how sad Naruto was. But in the letter that he had read over and over again, Naruto begged them not to be sad. He begged them not to focus too much on this. He didn't want them to suffer. After all, he did this because he wanted them to be at peace and happy. And Minato was trying to put his family back together, even though it was still painful, very much so. We then skip to Kumo. Over the past 4 years, a lot has happened. For one thing though, Naruto had grown a lot. At the moment the Raikage was discussing with the doctor on the growth of Naruto. To this day they were not able to find out what was causing his intense growth that was strengthening his bone muscles and also reducing them for the best possible outcomes involving speed. They still had no idea, but it had something to do with the star in his hand. As for Naruto at that moment though, he was climbing a cliff. With him was Samui, a girl that was 3 years older than him. She was an admirer of his big sister. His big sister was none other than Yujito, who had taken him under her wing. As Raikage saw the connection that they first had, Yujito had lost her parents when she was very younger. She had come to see Naruto as a brother over the first year that he was here. And after getting permission from the Raikage, he was adopted by her. However, the Raikage also did this for another mean, after all, with Naruto being close to Yujito, who was one of the most loyal ninjas within this village. Her being the Jinchuriki of the Two Tails, Naruto's loyalty was completely placed with them. To this day, he did not find out where the boy was from, or what was his connection with the outside world. However, he had risen up quickly, and his strength and durability and speed was something else for a child his age. Samui had ended up falling off after her and Naruto had joked around, but Naruto caught her. However, once they got to the bottom, Naruto passed out. That is when he met her, a woman, white hair and green eyes. He was confused who she was. She herself was confused at first until she found out when she saw the star in his hand. She did not introduce herself. More so, she was angry. She told him that they bonded together, as Naruto had no idea what she was talking about. However, she seemed to understand that his memories got destroyed when the process. After all, the both of them were half dead. She was dormant for the past couple of years. Her power had fully now assimilated with his body and reawakened her. So she was basically like a tail beast, but she did not use that terms, and he was like her holder. She was frustrated by this, so she was stuck, having no way on how to get out of here. In the outside world, when Naruto woke up, he now had a mark in his chest. Maybe it was due to her awakening. As Naruto informed the Raikage and Yujito about this, the both of them were heavily concerned, but it seemed that the woman was right. Naruto seemed to be in control, to some extent. 2 years passed after that as Naruto was finally ready. He was finally ready to be a ninja. After taking the academy test, which he passed, he was going to be placed in a team and be a ninja of Kumo. Something that he's wanted for the longest time until he was once again brought into his mindscape, where the woman was standing there looking at him. She told him that they need to talk. So yeah guys, basically as we left off, you guys can switch across the play screen for yourself, so this we jump right into this brand new episode. Begin now guys. To say that Naruto was shocked would be an understatement. A moment ago he was just happy that he had finally become a ninja of Kumo, and then, well, he was brought into his mindscape. But it was not like how it seems the last time. The last time he'd been in here, it was just a black empty space with a green glowing light. But now, Naruto looked around in complete shock. Over to the far side was a gigantic castle of sorts. It was massive, almost reaching up to the depths of the sky. How did this place have a sky? How did this castle get here? Wasn't this his mind? But not only that, over to the other side there was a snowy area, and to the other side there was a forest. Naruto saw strange creatures that he's never seen before. Those were definitely not animals from this planet. He's never seen things with that many eyes. 15 if he's correct. Just what the hell? Naruto looked down as the ground was made by some kind of material that he couldn't even understand. Ahead of him though was that woman, as she sat cozy and comfortably in a gigantic chair. A chair that seemed to be made of complete gold, with green edges around the side. Perhaps she liked the color green. As Naruto walked up towards her so-called throne, I must say, I'm surprised. The last time I came in here, this place did not look like this. What would you expect, human? She said. Despite my circumstances, I will not be forced to remain in filth. Hey, this is my mind we're talking about. And she said to him, as Naruto gave her a small glare. My mind is not filthy, he said. So you say, and yet, before my constructions, it was nothing but a black, empty, discarded place, with nothing fitting of my stature. You know that this isn't exactly my mind, right? It can't be, like, my brain is not here, said Naruto. She rolled her eyes. Tuh, humans. Your stupidity never ceased to amaze me. Of course this is not your direct mind, you fool. This is just a creation of the space that you use to speak to me. But as you can see, it's now my unfortunate home. You know, if you don't want to be here, you can just get out, said Naruto. She snarled at him. I can't, you buffoon. So don't go making claims that cannot be done. Hey, no need to be so violent, said Naruto. How was I supposed to know? I told you this the last time we spoke. Oh, you mean 2 years ago, said Naruto. Time is irrelevant, she said. Maybe for you, but not me. It's been a long while. I've been trying to enter this space, but I could not. As much as my power that you took, it seems I still have control over a small domain, which is this area. While I can't physically kill you and take over your body, I still have much control inside of here. At least that is good. You know, when you say things like that, it doesn't sound like you like me too much. And what gave you that small, insignificant thought that I liked you in the first place? Well, you're kind of in my body. You were just a pawn, something for me to use. However, there was an accident and now I'm stuck. You know, I'm not really a disrespectful guy, but you're a real bitch, said Naruto. You watch your tone, human. No, said Naruto, glaring at her. I'm done listening to you. If you want to stay in here and be a bitch, go ahead. As Naruto turned and started to walk away. You might have control in here, but this is my body, and I say what goes. In a second, she was in front of him. Her fist came down, like it was about to pulverize him, but before it could, her hand stopped inches away from his face. It was almost like there was an invisible barrier, stopping her from hurting him. Did you really just try to punch me? Naruto asked, as she glared at him once again before she sighed and walked away. There is things that concern us both that we need to discuss, human. No, said Naruto. She turned towards him. This is no longer any joke. There is things that you should know. And I said no. I don't want to know them unless you apologize for all the bad things that you said earlier. What? You heard me. Apologize. You expect someone like me to apologize to someone like you? Well, right now, someone like you need my help. So, apologize or I'm out. She clenched her fists as her teeth gritted against one another. Naruto could swear that her eyes started to sparkle. You insignificant human trash. Dear, ordered me to apologize to someone like you. Yep, and I'll wait, said Naruto as he sat down on the ground. She walked back to her throne and sat down, as the both of them simply stared at each other. Time was different in here, as time seemed to fly past. Naruto wasn't sure, but it seems like hours passed. However, if there was one thing about him, he was rather stubborn, and he did not move. But she seemed to be losing her patience, her eye twitching as Naruto kept on making a popping sound with his mouth. The next thing he knew, she tore the throne out of the ground and threw it, destroying a lot of things around them. She punched the ground, she ripped apart everything. Getting angry and frustrated as Naruto saw a massive amount of energy leak from her body, she started going on a rampage. After a good 5 minutes, a lot of things were destroyed. The castle seemed to be fine where it was. However, the forest area and the throne was completely wrecked. She was huffing and puffing. It was almost like a child throwing a tantrum. However, Naruto was able to notice something. The way she thought, the way she acted was like her race or wherever she was from. They were above humans. That is why she finds it so hard to apologize to him. And it seems like she was someone who always get what she wanted, so it was very hard for her to not get what she wants from a simple human like him. And to be stuck in here, it must be really aggravating her. So once again, Naruto made a popping sound with his mouth. The look that she gave him, if looks could kill, he would be dead at least 10 times. However, she simply sat down on the ground. Despite everything, she sat so elegantly. It was almost like she was some kind of queen or princess. Given how beautiful she was, that might be the truth, Naruto wondered to himself. Fine. In order to get past this aggression, I apologize to an insignificant being like yourself. You know, that is not much of an apology. She seemed like she would lunge at him at any moment. Alright, said Naruto. I'll take it, he said. Just because I want to get this going. And besides, the place is quite nice. I don't want you to destroy it all. She released a breath. Despite all of that, she did not seem ragged. Her clothing was still, well, it was completely pristine, not even a scratch or dirt on it. The way she sat, it was like she was looking at him like an inferior being once again, looking down upon him, despite her being stuck inside his body. That was saying something. Human, she said. First of all, my name is Naruto. What's yours? She looked at him for a moment in complete silence. Before she decided to speak, you may refer to me as Empress Yui. Ah, so Yui is your name. I said, refer to me as Empress Yui. I think not. What? She said. I said no. I'm still not sure what exactly or who exactly you are. But you want to control me because you can't take over my body, so you want to be able to control my actions. Make me fear you or something like that, or respect you. Granted, I'm not above respecting you if you're a nice person, but so far you haven't, said Naruto. So I'm gonna be calling you Yui. Yui-san, he said. You think we're on the same level for you to refer to me as such? Well, not really. You're probably a whole lot stronger than me, from what I've seen so far, but still, I'm not gonna call you that, Yui, said Naruto, as her finger twitched. She really have some problems, he thought to himself. So, you can just call me Naruto. Or perhaps, I can call you Worm, she said, because that is what your stature is compared to me. Naruto sighed. I guess we're not gonna go anywhere with the both of us insulting each other, are we? So let's start over. I'm Naruto, and you're... She took a breath. Yui, she said. Yui Otsutsuki. Yui Otsutsuki, it's a pleasure to meet you. See? Now isn't that better? Said Naruto. If I had a way to get out of here, I would erase your entire existence, she whispered to herself. What was that? Nothing, human, she said. I mean, Naruto, she said. The way she said his name, he didn't really like it. However, he decided to just leave it be, so he could understand what is going on. So, what's going on, said Naruto. As I said before, because of certain factors, I am now stuck inside of you. That mark on your arm is a representation of my DNA. What about this one, said Naruto as he moved his shirt, showing the mark on his chest. Your body is constantly advancing because of my power. Wait, so you're like evolving me? Evolution might not be the correct term, but in a sense. Yes, I am, she said. Wow, that's pretty cool. Yes, it is for someone like you. But for me, there is no benefit. I'm stuck in here, and I cannot leave. Well, maybe I can find a way to get you out of here. And why would you be so foolish? I've already made my intentions clear. Why would you want to release me? Don't you fear the outcome of your world? Well, given what you've done over there, said Naruto as he looked behind her, seeing the destroyed area, your rage is rather vast and all-encompassing. However, the thought of keeping someone kidnapped against their will is not my style. However, I can't allow you to go and destroy everything, so until we become friends, you're gonna have to stay in here. She started to laugh. It was the first time that Naruto heard her laughing, and he had to say her laughing was quite wonderful, soft and elegant, as she brought her hand up to her lip, as she calmed herself. Forgive me, she said. The way she spoke everything about herself, it seems like she was groomed to be someone important, because he was sure that she did not give a damn about his opinion to say forgive me, but yet she still said it. You believe that we would ever be friends, she said to him. Stranger things have happened, said Naruto. Well, this is not an outcome that I foresee in the future. Well, who knows, said Naruto. Hey, hold on there. You said something to me now that I want answers to. You said that you were also dying, when you came upon me dying as well. Granted, I don't have any memories of that. Who tried to kill you, said Naruto. A snarl came on her face, an angry one. That is not important. However, you will have to become strong. Strong enough to wield my power. You actually want me to control your power? I fear that in the far future, if you're not strong enough to wield my power, we will both be erased. What do you mean, said Naruto? I assure you, human, you have nothing to worry about now, so I do not believe that I should tell you. You're telling me that there's a big threat coming my way and you're not going to tell me because it's not important now? Exactly. As she folded her arms, Naruto sighed. She was rather stubborn, just like him. He might as well get off the subject and just try to get as strong as possible. So, what are the benefits of having you inside of me? And I know how strange that sounds, but I did not mean it that way, said Naruto. She looked at him strangely. Not a big fan of jokes, are you? Like your jokes could ever make me laugh. I did make you laugh a moment ago. I was laughing at you, idiot, she said. I guess you're right, as Naruto started to chuckle. She shook her head at him. Sorry, I just found that funny, said Naruto. So, are you gonna tell me? She looked at him skeptically. Come on, said Naruto, if I'm gonna become strong, you're gonna need to explain a few things to me. Fine, she said. When I first met you, you were on the verge of dying. Your body already seemed incredibly weak. Throughout the years, my power was able to empower you and strengthen your body beyond a normal physical human, while you're still a human being. She said with disgust in her tone. Your body is more stronger than most. Not in a physical sense just of yet. However, in terms of being sick, being infected, or being poisoned, those things will not work on you. Really? Said Naruto. And these things are because of you, right? Yes, she said. Whoa, that's awesome. I mean, you're awesome, said Naruto. She looked at him strangely once again, but she quickly focused back on her blank gaze as she spoke once again. Because of me being in here as well, your chakra is abnormally large. However, even before my full assimilation with you, your chakra was still powerful and large. Perhaps this is the effect of some sort of lineage from some sort of bloodline. Bloodline? You mean family? Exactly, she said. Wait, you wouldn't happen? Of course not, she said. How would I know who your family are? Whatever happened to your memories, I don't see any way of them coming back ever. Naruto lowered his head. You know, strangely enough, despite everything that's happened, I kinda thought one day my memories would come back. But if they do, what would that mean for my life here? What if I was a part of a big family that actually love and care for me? And they've been searching for me this entire time. But if that is the case, what would that mean for Yujito? And the people here that I care about? I mean, I love my big sister. She scoffed, breaking Naruto from his thoughts. I did not ask for your story. I do not care of your life or anything that has to do with your emotions. So please, do not regale me of anything. Oh yeah, I forgot. You're a bitch, said Naruto. She clenched her fist at that remark. Well, don't be so surprised. You don't care about me, so why should I care about your feelings, said Naruto. Get out, she said to him. What? Said Naruto. Are you upset? Upset? Why should I care about what you think or say? I just had enough speaking with you. I've already told you all you need to know for now. Until a next suitable time I decide to share more. Get out. But what about your abilities? Seeing that you're inside of me, doesn't that mean... I said, get out, she screamed. Her scream caused a violent wave of power to explode from her mouth. It was like a sonic boom. Seeing the thing coming towards him, Naruto got afraid, as he just wanted to be back outside. And he ended up fading away before anything could happen. Not that it would really hurt him. Naruto blinked as he was back outside. Whoa, that was close, he thought to himself. The sun was still high up in the sky. Much time had not passed, as he better head off to the academy as he jumped down, making his way inside the mindscape. She had fixed back the throne in silence. She walked over and sat down. There was a sad look on her face. If you understand her backstory, you'd understand why she was so angry. Well, who wouldn't be angry? She was a being that was above humans, and yet here she was, now completely stuck. The karma seal was like a download of everything of her, installed into another person to take control of that person's body and be reborn. However, she was so weak. She was near to death. But still, he was different as well. And something strange happened and he got full control. Her body unconsciously tried to heal him. And in doing so, all of the advantage went to him. And now she was stuck. She doubted that they would find her soon. However, they will come, eventually. And once they did, this entire world will be in jeopardy. And she doubted that fool will stand by and allow them to destroy the world, so that means they're gonna have to fight. And in doing so, that also means they will know. This planet was different than many others. This was no normal planet. If she was not mistaken, it is almost like her kind has been here before. However, they choose to populate this landform. They choose to keep power and knowledge to this land. She's been able to watch glimpses of the outside world. They had chakra, almost all of them. But if that was the case, it doesn't seem like this person is here anymore. But even if another of her kind was here, that meant they were no longer loyal to the clan. Maybe they could help her find a way to get the hell out of this boy. Because it doesn't matter what she create or make in here, it will always be a part of him. Somewhere that she's stuck and alone. And she couldn't stand for that. Time skip, Konoha. Natsumaya was not pleased. No, she was not in the slightest. She knew that when she first became a genin, that she would not be going on any difficult missions after all. They were new to it. They had to learn and get more experience, right? However, D-rank missions, those were something that she just couldn't understand. She did not see any way that these will help in the slightest. Her new sensei, Kakashi Hatake, former student of her father, believed that it will help their teamwork. She didn't see what the big problem was with their teamwork. Sasuke was on her team, Sasuke Uchiha. In the past, she had felt sorry for him, and she had tried to pity him. However, she soon come to realize that was just angering him even more. He did not want anyone's pity. Her mother had made sure that he wasn't alone, to make sure that he wouldn't be alone after losing almost everything dear to him. Natsumi couldn't help but feel sorry for him despite everything. He lost everything and she felt sorry for him. However, when she decided to just act normal around him, they got along. Her other teammate was a girl from the academy. The girl was smart. In fact, she was a top when it comes to academics. Sakura Haruno. Sakura perhaps thought that she had a thing for Sasuke or something, but Natsumi did not. As she saw the way Sakura looked at her with jealousy. Sasuke only speak to her in certain matters. However, if Sakura did not act so much like a fangirl, maybe Sasuke would speak to her for something else. But Natsumi knew if she said that, it would just cause further problem for them and their so-called teamwork. Her sister was the lucky one, because of her tutelage from Yujiro. Yujiro had went to the Hokage for a personal favor in terms of an apprenticeship. Her father had approved it after having a sit-down with the both of them. So now Yujiro was the sole teacher of her sister Mito. Yes, she was the one in charge of her growth and her teaching, because of her extra focus on Kinjutsu. And given the fact that there was not a lot of Kinjutsu expert within Konoha, it was hard to find a suitable teacher. And Yujiro had really taken a liking to Mito. That is why she asked for her to be her apprentice and her father agreed. While Natsumi didn't have much of a problem with either Sakura or Sasuke, she would have liked to have her own teacher as well. Although, despite not having any of her abilities, Kakashi knew her mother for a long while and knew her as well, so he would perhaps be able to help her. And not to mention, unlike Mito, Natsumi took after her father in the ninjutsu specialty area, and his speed as well. Mito took after their mother with the Kinjutsu and the strength area. Mito was also better than her in Funjutsu as well, while Natsumi was better in her ninjutsu and also speed as well. Despite the both of them looking alike so much, they took complete different paths when it come towards their ninja training. But she guessed she would just have to wait. And wait. As she looked towards the field, she glanced over towards Kakashi, who was resting under a tree, while she, Sakura and Sasuke was in the sun, burning up as they had to weed the field. As Sakura was already on her knees, exhausted from all of this hard labor. Natsumi sighed. All she had to do was keep on working. She will get through it eventually, she thought to herself. Meanwhile, at Kumo, "Well, this is awesome," said Naruto, as he was currently walking with a red-headed girl and a white-haired boy. Both of them had darker complexion than him. The boy had black eyes, with a Kumo headband around his forehead. The girl had the Kumo headband on her forehead as well, however, she was wearing a white cap of sorts that pushed back her red hair. She also had golden eyes as well. These were Karu and Amoy. As Naruto was friends with them, they went to the academy together. "I thought I was going to be placed in a team with people I did not talk to, but I guess I was wrong. I'm glad that I was placed with you guys," said Naruto. "Well, out of all the people we could have been placed with, I guess you're not that bad," Karu said, looking towards Naruto. "Come on, not that bad. In terms of physical performance, Naruto is #1 in the class. And in terms of attitude, he's one of the nicest guys I've met. So what do you mean not that bad?" Amoy said, looking towards her. "Huh, I would rather be on a team with him than you, seeing that sometimes you tend to lose control and attack me for no reason." As Naruto chuckled a bit. "What's so funny?" Amoy said. "Well, you probably shouldn't have said that. What do you—" Pow! He was punched right in the face. "And what's that supposed to mean, you bastard?" she said, looking at him on the ground. The both of them has been friends since they were much younger, as their parents were ridiculously close, so they known each other for a long while. Despite not being related, they act like brother and sister. Amoy rubbed his cheek. "I didn't mean like that," he said. "I was just saying, you tend to punch me a lot, so I would rather avoid those. Example that was just shown," he said, pointing towards her fist and his cheek. As he spat out the sweetie that was in his mouth, it seemed to have gotten destroyed, as he had crunched down and bite it when she punched him. But Naruto watched as he popped out another one. "Huh, you really love your sweets, don't you?" Naruto asks. "What can I say? They're the bomb. Wait, What if they really were a bomb? And I've swallowed so much of them over the years, and they're all in my stomach. What if someone plotted this and created these sweeties just for that purpose, for me to eat them, and then, when I'm close to a group of Kumo ninjas, they set them off? Karu rolled her eyes. If there was one thing you need to know about Amoy, he tend to over-exaggerate things. A lot. It's okay, said Naruto. I'm sure that they're not bombs. After all, you would have seen it, right? I mean, look at that one that you spat out. Huh. I guess you're right. Naruto glanced up at Karu, was looking towards him. What's wrong? It's just, usually, he tend to rant like this even when I try to stop him. But you just made him stop. Huh. Maybe it's not a bad idea to have you on this team, so that you can shut him up whenever he starts to become stupid. Well, I'll try my best, said Naruto, making her grin. Hey, come on guys, I'm not that bad, Amoy said. Yes you are, said Karu. As he deflated, as Naruto wondered where their sensei was. They were not told who their sensei was gonna be. They were just told the field that they should go to. As Naruto spun around, no way, he said. The other two turned as well. A fairly tall, dark-skinned individual walked on the field. Dark eyes, white shaggy hair that cover one of his eye, that being the left one. He wears a high-collared, sleeveless uniform, with loose, fitting pants, bandage on his wrists, and the one strap over flap jacket of Kumo. He also had the kanjis for water and lightning tattooed on his right and left shoulders. They were showing his chakra affinities. He also had the tattoo for Black Lightning on his left arm as well. He had learned the infamous Black Lightning from the third Raikage. It was none other than Darui, trained by the third to learn his awesome Black Lightning, and not to mention, he also had the Kick Genkai as well, the Storm Release. Darui was really awesome, and many of the people in the village idolized him. Not to mention he trained with the fourth Raikage, and was known to be his right-hand man as well. That was shocking, as the three of them looked at him, wondering what he was doing here. Wait, can it be? Don't tell me. Are you gonna be? Darui yawned, as he looked towards them with a calm expression that was a bit laid back. He wasn't lazy, he was just rather relaxing, if you could call it a personality trait. Yep, I think you guys know what this means, he said, looking towards them. From this day on, I'll be your sensei. The lollipop that was in Amoy's mouth fell to the ground. Even Karu was shocked, as this was not what they were expecting. For them to get him, of all people, to be their sensei. This was awesome. You guys can celebrate later, he said, giving them a calm smile. For now, why don't we get to know one another? As he pointed towards the bench that was over to the side. They all walked towards it, as Naruto still could not believe his big sister had went on plenty of missions with Darui. She told him how awesome the guy was, especially how powerful he was. Naruto never expected him to be his Jonin sensei. Now this was gonna be great. As they all sat down, well, how about we go about introducing ourselves? Tell us your likes, dislikes, and all that, he said to them. Why don't you go first and say so? We can know more about you, said Karu. Despite her already knowing a lot about him, because this was someone that she idolized. But it would not be for what you think. Despite it was not really shown, he was also an expert in Kinjutsu as well. As she heard about what a whiz he was with the blade, she was also practicing in the art as well, as she hoped to be as good as him someday. Well, alright, he said, looking towards them calmly. Well, as you know, my name is Darui, he said. I'm a Jonin of the village. Now you're Jonin sensei. I guess I just like a calm, nice day, when nothing too troublesome happened, nothing too dull, or nothing too problematic. A day of relaxing and enjoyment. Nothing too hectic, no busy schedule. That would be a perfect day for me, he said. Things I hate. I hate traitors. For someone to claim that they're a ninja of your village, to sworn an oath to protect and fight for your village, and then turn their back on betraying you. That is one of the things I cannot and never will forgive, he said. They saw the look in his eyes change and know how serious he was. Other than that, I like to hang out with my friends. Go to a bar maybe after a long mission. Relaxing, talking. Maybe a bit of training and sparring. To make sure that I don't go rusty. Well, that's about it. What about things that you like? Said Karu, looking towards him. Oh, well, I actually like sushi. Really? Said Naruto. Huh, you know what? Your sister was the one that introduced me to the stuff. At first, I didn't really have a taste for it. But with her constantly taking me to the sushi place over and over, I guess I just got into it. Huh, I like that too, said Naruto. Really? You guys do? Said Karu. It's raw fish. Yeah, said Naruto, but it's awesome. Huh. I guess that is where we differ. I hate that stuff. Yeah, she really do. The last time she ate some, she threw up, said Amoy. You didn't have to tell them that, she said to him. Was that supposed to be a secret, he asked. She glared at him. Alright, that's me, he said. Now you guys go. Starting with you, he said, pointing towards Amoy. Alright, I'm Amoy, he said, as you guys know. I guess I like hanging out with nice people. Huh. That's rather ironic, seeing that I like to hang out with you, he said, looking towards Karu. What's that supposed to mean? Nothing, he said. I guess I want to be pretty strong as well. Although I know it will take a lot of hard work. Something I might not be looking forward to. But I guess I have to do it in order to get strong. I mean, I did swear an oath that I would be a firm citizen of this village who will fight and protect the civilians. So yeah. But let's hope that it's nothing too dangerous, he said, making the other sweat drop. I guess I like barbecue. I like sushi as well, but not that much. But I don't hate it like Karu. And I like to have a nice walk in the park. However, what if when I'm walking home a meteor come from the sky and hit the ground and some kind of alien parasite crawl out of it and he was bumped on the head by Karu. Sensei did not ask for your paranoia. He asked for your introduction. He rubbed his head. You didn't have to hit me, he said. Well, that's pretty much it. I guess when all of my ninja thing is over, I want to settle down and have a nice family. Have a couple of kids that are just like me. You mean lazy, Karu said. If it is, so be it, he said, with a shrug of his shoulders. Huh. And I was told that I was no fun. Seems you're worse than me, Daru said. Hey, I'm not that bad, Amoy said. Yes you are, both Naruto and Karu said. So I'm next, she said, speaking up. My name is Karu, and I want to become the greatest female swordsman to ever walk this entire world. Huh, I did go over your file, and I saw that you focus a lot more on the Kinjutsu aspect in the academy. You read over my file? Of course, I'm your sensei now. Her eyes sparkle hearing that. She does know that he read over all of her file, right? Amoy whispered. Just let her have this, said Naruto. Alright, Amoy said, as he leaned back to his side. She smiled happily hearing that. My lights. I guess I like to train and get stronger and sharpen my skills. As crazy as this idiot right beside me makes me, I guess I like to hang out with him as well. I guess I just like normal food and I'm not really sure what delicacy. That's because you have no taste, Amoy said. And how do you know I don't have any taste? Because I've seen what you eat. You don't even like lollipops. Just because you like them, it doesn't mean that I have to like them, Karu said, as the both of them start to argue. Sensei? If you don't stop them, they might go on for the whole day. Alright, that's enough, you two, Daru said. Now it's your turn, Naruto, he said. Well, as you all know, I'm Naruto, he said. And I too have a dream as well. I want to become one of the strongest ninjas to be known through the entire elemental nation. With my strength, I will keep Humo safe. I won't allow a single traitor or enemy to ever touch the village. And I'll keep all of my precious people safe. My big sister, everyone I care about. I'll use my power to protect everyone I can. That's a big dream you have there. But I'm sorry to burst your bubbles, but no one can protect everyone. Well, you're wrong, said Naruto. Dorui raised the eyebrow at that. Because I, Naruto, will protect everyone. The people here are wonderful and kind. Starting from the youngest children to the oldest grandma. that always give me candy or chocolates whenever she see me. And I'll use everything even if it take my blood, sweat and tears. I'll get stronger beyond anything you guys have ever seen to make sure that Kumo is always protected no matter what. As Naruto went on to list the things that he liked, Dorui looked at him. Yujito had told him a lot about the kid. He couldn't believe that a couple years back they found him. And now here he was a part of the village, ready to risk everything to make sure that the village would be safe. Maybe he could relax knowing that the future generation had everything protected. That brought a smile to his face. Time skip. 1 month later, Naruto was running. He was running incredibly fast. He was on the side of a mountain. In front of him was a massive gap that led to another side. However, it was massive. It was very large. He was not alone though. There was a girl, tightly secured to his back, her arms wrapped around him. She seemed to be the same age as him. However, her clothing and the way she was dressed showed that she was someone incredibly important. The fabric looked rather expensive. She gripped on Naruto tightly, fear in her eyes. "We're not gonna make it." "Like hell we're not," said Naruto. "It's too wide. We're gonna fall," she said to him. "I promised you already," said Naruto. "I would keep you safe, and nothing in this world would stop me from doing so. We're gonna make it. Believe in me." His words actually brought her comfort. You might ask, how did Naruto end up in this situation? Well, it has been 1 month since Naruto and his team had become an official team. Since then, they went on missions. Unlike other nations, Kumo did not do a bunch of D-rank missions. It only lasted for a week. The first week of becoming a genin, you had to do D-rank missions. And after that, the mission ranking was increased. After all, their senseis here taught them a lot. Upon the first few days, he quickly started to help them with their taijutsu, and in terms of speed and endurance, and their chakra capacity as well, having them walk on trees, water as well. He was shocked to find out how much chakra Naruto actually had. It seems that Yujito was not exaggerating when she had talked about him, and Naruto's strength and speed was something else. They then went on to their chakra affinities. Amoy had lightning, his main affinity alone. However, Karu surprised them, with her having a deadly fire affinity, as the paper had burned rather bright. She also had lightning as well. She had 2, which was rare. Here's her family mostly comprised of ninjas, but they didn't have any bloodlines or anything special, so it was a rather unique trait. Amoy could help them with lightning, but he couldn't help her with the fire though. However, he had scrolls to help her on that. As for Naruto, he had wind, a very powerful wind affinity, followed by water, as it seemed to be equally powerful, something that was rather surprising. Usually, one affinity is more dormant than the other, but Naruto's 2 affinities seemed to be, well, equal. He also possessed a lightning affinity as well, but it was weaker compared to the first 2. Once again showing how extraordinary he was, possessing 3 affinities. Throughout the month, Darui helped them to refine their abilities that he taught them. This mission that they were currently on was one to protect Aqua Mirokaze. Aqua Mirokaze was the only child of the Mirokaze family. The Mirokaze family was a very powerful family in Land of Lightning. While not being related to the daimyo of Land of Lightning, they were extremely close to him. Thus, the man had sent for Kumo to get the girl out of there. Her parents were not at their mansion, but she was left alone with the guards and the servants that were there. The thing was, her parents were being targeted, so they quickly realized that their daughter was going to be the next target to draw them out. Her parents had been rushed off to a secret location by the guards. Upon them being attacked, they were safely hidden away. However, they had ordered Kumo to quickly get their daughter out of there and bring her to Kumo. Once she was safely secure in Kumo, then she will be transported to where her family was, and then they can work on eliminating all these people that were targeting them. Yes, the family was mixed up into some shady things. After all, you did not come by so much money by being completely clean, and now someone was after them. Naruto and his group was sent to rescue the girl and bring her back. The mission was supposed to be a normal B rank mission. Because of how important she was, it was bumped up to B rank. But this was basically an escort mission. However, the Raikage had full confidence that Darui would be able to handle any threat that might show its head, and that the kids would also keep the girl calm and safe and not too worried. The family was very important to Daimyo and therefore very important to Kumo as well. Because of their money, they were big supporters of the Land of Lightning and the village as well. So they had to keep her safe. As Naruto was one of the most likable person that the Raikage seemed to, well, know. As he just had this spirit about him that draw people to him. So he believed that the girl would be drawn to Naruto and it would keep her from experiencing any trauma of knowing that she was being hunted. Thus, they were sent out. But as they went to pick up the girl, things did not go as planned. As they were heading back, the girl had quickly warmed up to Naruto, as the Raikage suspected. His whole persona and attitude, making her trust him rather easily. However, they were attacked. The enemy had hired ninja, the Crusher brothers. These two brothers were formerly Hidden Stone ninjas, both of them said to be B rank. However, that was a long time ago. They were now missing ninjas, goons for hire, and they had been hired to get the girl and kill anyone in their path. The reason why they were called the Crusher brothers, well, they were rather big and tall, and they were incredibly strong as well, and they liked to crush things. Their ability seemed to be similar to a bloodline, but it was really an ability. They can harden their skin to a degree of metal, allowing their hands to become like pincers to be able to crush objects, therefore making them too dangerous person. They had evolved over the past couple of years, becoming stronger. Darui had told them to take the girl and run, as it was their job to get her back to Kumo. He told them that he will be fine, he will defeat the Crusher brothers and catch up with them. He told them to run, he could not have them so close to the chaos, knowing that the Crusher brothers might use the children against him. So he told them to get out of here, quickly. They had followed his orders and ran, taking their client. They had full safety in their sensei to defeat the Crusher brothers. However, the Crusher brothers were not alone. Whoever this person was, they were incredibly rich. There was a lot of bandits that were also with them as well. Given that the security at the household where Aqua lived was rather large, they had hired a bunch of missing names and bandits as well. Some had went after the family, however, their guards had went up against them. And it had proven that these were no normal guards, seeing that they were to defend the family and get them to somewhere safe. The men had hired a lot more it seems, however these guys were bandits. Both Amoy and Karu told Naruto to run. They did not want the girl to get hurt, seeing that she was their target, as they pleaded with Naruto to go ahead. Once they crossed a certain distance that was close to the village, the envoys would be alerted and the enemies would not dare to pass that certain entrance. They told him that he could handle these bandits. All of them were weak, as Naruto could sense that their chakra level was not that high. So he put his faith in his teammates and now he was running with the girl. As Naruto slowed down before he bent his knees and leaped. Once he jumped over this mountain, he will hand her over to the envoys and head back to fight with his teammates. However, Naruto sensed something. He turned his body, turning so that she would not be hurt. However, this person was not trying to kill but incapacitate. Naruto was zapped by lightning as he lost his jump momentum and fell. The girl's eyes went wide as she screamed as both of them were falling. Naruto quickly looked around as his hand went into his pouch, pulling out ninja wire and a kunai, and Naruto tightened it and threw it. It stabbed into the rock formation, allowing them to swing to the bottom. As they landed, "Are you okay?" Naruto asked. "Yes, I'm fine. But your shoulder?" "It's nothing but a scratch." "That's not a scratch," she said to him. "I promise, I'm fine," said Naruto, grinning at her. "Well, you're not going to be for too long." Naruto placed her behind him as he turned his gaze upon the man that struck him with lightning. "And who are you?" said Naruto. The younger generation, never knowing about their elders." Naruto looked over the man. He was wearing a green and grey suit with black sandals that passed his ankles. He had dark green hair and purple eyes. There was also a sword strapped to his waist. and an umbrella on his back. Wait, I've seen you before. In that bingo book my sister showed me. Your name is Awu. It's Aoi, not Awu. I am Aoi Rokusho. What are you doing here? Oh, that's quite simple. I was paid a lot of money to get that girl. Let's just say the man I work for was pretty smart. He knows that something like this might happen, so he sent a lot. I was the backup waiting for you to arrive. And now that I have you, hand her over, or you will die. Aqua was trembling as she stood behind Naruto. I don't want to be taken, she whispered. And you won't be, said Naruto. You believe you can stop me, brat, Aoi said. I don't care who you are. Naruto slammed his fist in his chest. But I promise you, on everything that I am, and everything my name is worth, I won't allow you to lay a finger on her. Bold words coming from a brat. Well then, let me just show you why all that you just said means nothing. He unsheathed the blade. Now I remember. You're a missing ninja from Konoha who stole a very powerful item. I presume it's that blade, right? Yes, correct. This is the Raijin blade. Something that was created by the second Hokage himself. You should know about the second Hokage. Him and your village has quite the history. Naruto clenched his fists. Yes, Konoha and Kumo has never been on good terms. It's a shame that I will have to slaughter you with said blade. I'm afraid I don't have a lot of time to waste. Aoi vanished. He appeared beside Naruto. So die! Aqua eyes widened in shock. Oh no. She could not even shout to warn Naruto. She was not fast enough. However, as Aoi brought the blade down, he was caught off guard when suddenly a kunai was being thrown right toward his face. Shocked by the speed of the rate the weapon was thrown, Aoi had no choice but to move away. Otherwise, he would have lost the eye as he flipped back. As Naruto looked at him, as I said, Aqua, there is no way in hell I'm gonna allow this guy to take you. Aqua looked towards Naruto with a new sense of belief and confidence. I believe in you, Naruto-kun, she said, as Naruto turned towards her and grinned. Alright, stand back, said Naruto, as she stepped back. In an instant, Naruto was gone. Aoi swiped as Naruto ducked. The kunai in his hand reached up as Naruto drove it toward his stomach. However, Aoi kicked his hand away. Before he flipped, he then launched a kunai towards Naruto from his own pouch. Naruto knocked it aside. Aoi landed behind him and lashed out a kick. Naruto crossed his arms. The kick knocked him back as he flashed a hand sign while he was falling. Water style, he said. Water bullet! Aoi sliced the blade down on the bullet, completely destroying it. Naruto was surprised by that, but he did not stop as he jumped to the right. Wind style. Gale palm, he said, as he outstretched his hand. The attack came blasting forward, but Aoi tear right through it with the blade. It seems you don't understand. Despite your lucky shot getting away earlier, it doesn't matter what you do. With this blade, I am a god, he said. And now let me show you the wrath of a god. He rushed towards Naruto and sliced as Naruto moved back. Naruto twisted as a guy appeared above him and brought it down. Naruto brought his kunai, but the kunai was instantly severed as Naruto pulled his head back. However, the thing burned him right across the cheek. Aoi using that, he spun and slammed a kick in Naruto's chest, blasting Naruto back. As Naruto rolled on the ground, Aoi chuckled to himself. He was a bold talker, but he couldn't back up his words. He then turned his sight towards a frightened girl. Now, for you. Didn't you hear me? Aoi turned his gaze as Naruto picked himself up. You're not gonna lay a finger on her. Once again, Naruto vanished as Aoi turned and swiped. However, Naruto was gone. Aoi spun back around and drove his blade down, but there was nothing there. What the hell? Is he getting faster? Aoi looked up, boom! A brutal kick slammed across his face. His body was sent sailing. He skipped across the ground a few times before slamming into the wall. Aoi's head was dazed at the moment. However, he rolled away as Naruto's fists destroyed the wall, leaving a hole where his head once was. Aoi got back to his feet. As he wiped his nose, blood could be seen on his finger. You cocky little shit. You're gonna pay for that. He pulled the umbrella off his back as he threw it at Naruto, going through hand sign. Flying needle, swallow of death, he said. The umbrella opened up as Naruto saw thousands of senbons firing towards him. He could not count the amount. Naruto went through hand sign as fast as he could go as he took in a breath. Wind style, wind bullet, he said as he shot several wind bullets. The wind bullets made contact with all of the ones that were close to anything that might be vital, blowing them away. However, Naruto's arms and legs got hit. The senbons were just that great. I applaud you, kid, Aoi said as he got back to his feet. For you to be standing is quite something special. I can see that you're just a wet behind the ears genin, and yet I'm an A rank missing ninja. Do you know what that means? It means I'm someone far above your level. For you still to be able to stand, even past a few seconds, it is something quite special. You should be worthy, honored, that you've been able to live so far. However, the blade was once again charged with power. As Aoi pointed towards him, it's over. As Naruto's legs and arms were stuck with the senbon as Aoi rushed forward. Naruto, no! Aqua shouted. Aoi moved in as he drove the blade straight through Naruto's heart. I warned you that your fate will be death if you fought me, and yet you still decide to fight me. He then turned his gaze towards the girl until something gripped his hand. What the hell? How are you still? You know, said Naruto. There was no blood on him. Aoi did not realize that. The senbons were not showing any blood despite hitting his arms and legs. You should really watch your surroundings. Or perhaps you're just a bit too cocky because you're an A-rank ninja. Aoi's eyes went wide as Naruto's body exploded into a violent discharge of energy. It blasted into him with tremendous force. Aoi screamed out on top of his lungs. The real Naruto came breaking out of the earth. As Aoi dropped the Thunder Blade, the thing going stagnant, seeing that his chakra was no longer empowering it. Naruto was panting, the reason being, he had pumped an exceed amount of chakra in the clone for it to remain stable, and the amount of lightning chakra that was pumped into it. It was nothing normal, as Naruto wanted to make sure that he got that guy. However, Naruto watched as Aoi was getting back up to his feet. Despite most of him being charred. You brat! I'll rip you apart with my own hands. Naruto went through hand signs. He created 2 more lightning clones. Naruto jumped up as the both of them went through hand sign. Wind style. Gale force, they said. As the both of them released wind chakra from their hands that propelled Naruto forward. Aoi swung, but Naruto tilted himself in mid-air and slammed head first right in Aoi nuts. Aoi's eyes went wide as he screamed out. But Naruto was not done as he jumped up and slammed a brutal fist under his chin. Blood skewered from his mouth. Naruto used his shoulders to push Aoi down before dropping a heel into his skull. Before Aoi could touch the ground though, Naruto brought his feet up and slammed it across his cheek, blasting him right into the wall. As Naruto landed on his feet, wiping the sweat away from his brow. Let's see you get it from that, you bastard, said Naruto. However, Aoi was twitching, barely unconscious. You underestimated me, said Naruto. That was your biggest mistake. I am stronger than the average genin, more skilled as well. And besides, I forgot something. My sister said that the only reason why you were probably ranked as an A rank is because you stole the sword from Konoha which she want back. And that is the reason why you rank as an A rank. That means you're not that strong. You just had a powerful weapon, and that was your downfall, said Naruto, relying on that blade too much. And now it's over. Naruto brought his fist down and slammed it in Aoi's face, knocking him out cold. He then turned his gaze towards Aqua, who had tears in her eyes. She ran forward Naruto and she jumped right in his arms. As Naruto hugged her back, "It's alright, Aqua," he said. "I told you that I would keep you safe. I was so worried when I saw you got hit. I thought you actually got stabbed through the chest. But you're fine, are you not?" "Yep, I'm fine," said Naruto, as she hugged him tightly. Ahem, someone cleared their throat. As Naruto glanced upward to see his sensei and two teammates. "Are we interrupting?" Karu asked. Aqua blushed as she dislodged herself from Naruto. As Naruto breathed a sigh of relief, seeing that they were okay. As Darui jumped down, "Naruto, are you okay?" he asked. "Yep, 100%. Well, except for..." As Naruto looked at his shoulder, the wound was completely gone. "Never mind," he said. As Darui walked over. "This guy. This is Aoi Rokusho." "Yeah, and he had this," said Naruto, as he held up the Thunder Blade. As Darui's eyes went wide. Huh. As he couldn't believe their luck. "You defeated him by yourself," Darui said, looking towards Naruto. He was shocked. Yes, he knew that Naruto was skilled then, your average genin, but this was impressive, beyond what he expected. That is why he had quickly end things with the Crusher brothers as fast as possible to get over here, when he helped out the other two, but by the time he arrived, it was over. This kid, he was something else. "What can I say, Sensei? I'm awesome. I thought you said that he wasn't that strong," said Aqua. "Shh," said Naruto. "They don't need to know that. Just tell everyone that I'm awesome, okay?" As she smiled at him. "But you are awesome, Naruto-kun," she said, as that made him blush, making her giggle. But guys, be in subscribe right here. If you want the next person to do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification to stay posted. But I'm off now, see you guys soon. Peace.